Hi there. It's good to see you again. I know we've met each other, but I would like to introduce myself again. My name is Trịnh Lê Văn, a junior majoring in English Linguistics at Saigon University. And today, we will have a 7-day field trip to the central or the heart of Vietnam. And now, fasten your seatbelt and follow me on a trip.
Our journey begins in Nha Trang on the first day. The next day, we head to Quy Nhơn and continue our trip to Da Nang on day 3. We will have 2 days there. Then, on day 5, we make our way back to Quy Nhơn, and on day 6, we return to Nha Trang for 1 more day. Finally, on day 7, we finish our trip and travel back to Ho Chi Minh City. Our bus left at 6 a.m. and we stopped at Suối Tre Long Khánh for breakfast. I chose a bowl of bún bò to start my day. At lunchtime, we arrived at the Cana Hotel restaurant for our meal. We checked in at Nabla Hotel and get ready for the team building competition. Each team would compete in fun team building games like animal shaping, the ring passing, the sack racing, or the archery challenges. After the games, all the teams gathered to take photos together, creating a beautiful memory of the trip. In the evening, we got to enjoy nem nướng and chả lụi spring rolls at a friendly neighborhood restaurant.
Put your name, right? And if what word would you choose if you want to describe Nha Trang?
I think it's a really nice people. Nice people, good food,
Good food,
and good weather.
good weather.
Yeah.
But for recent days, there are flooding, right?
Yes. It's, I read about when before we went there, but I think it's the last 2 days has been wonderful here.
Yes, it is. I want to share with you that this is my first time I've been to the central of Vietnam, especially in Nha Trang.
Okay.
And it's the first time I see like local people that encounter with the flood.
Okay.
Yeah, they put like something in the roof to stop the flow, right? And I think that's all. Can I say it again?
Nice meeting you.
Yes.
Our first destination in Nha Trang on day 2 is Hòn Chồng. According to legend, long time ago, a young couple was sailing on a small boat when strong waves and fierce winds swept them into the bay. The huge waves smashed the boat, carrying the wife far away. The husband tried to save her, holding her with one hand while clinging to the cliff. But the rock tumbled into the sea, taking both of them. Many years have passed, but the mark of the husband's hand remains etched in the stone, preserving the tragic legend of Hòn Chồng. Within this scenic area lies the Vịnh Nha Trang Hall, built in the traditional Huế style nhà rường architecture, a type of ancient folk house that could only be constructed by skilled master carpenters. Inside the area, the one wooden interior combined with soft lantern light creates a cozy and relaxing atmosphere. Besides its unique architecture, the Vịnh Nha Trang Hall also preserves and showcases the cultural and tourism values of Nha Trang and the member base of the world's most beautiful bass club. At this location, we also had the opportunity to listen to a musical performance that combined the sounds of the Vietnamese zither. And the Vietnamese monochord. I'll give you a hint for the next place of interest. There are 5 rock formations found worldwide, and one of them is in Vietnam. So, can you guess?
Right now, I'm standing here at Gành Đá Đĩa, which is located at Phú Yên province. As you can see, those rocks are really special. It's special in its rock formation, which is created through the volcanic eruptions years ago, and it's a worth sight seeing. You must try whenever you visit Phú Yên.
Studies show that the basalt in this area formed millions of years ago from volcanic activity in what is now the Vân Hòa highlands of Đắk Lắk province. As the lava cooled, it solidified and cracked into relatively uniform prism-shaped columns. Those columns near the coast were later eroded by the waves, causing horizontal cracks that created the distinctive stone place seen today. The final destination in Phú Yên was Măng Lăng Church, one of Vietnam's oldest Catholic churches, built in 1892 by the French missionary Father Joseph de la Casagne. It has been a place of worship over a century. As for its architecture, the church is known for its ancient grey stone walls weathered by time. Inside the church, 2 rows of columns connected by continuous arches are adorned with intricate carvings on both the pillars and ceiling, while the elevated floor facing south allows cool breezes to flow freely. That was a long day, and I began to feel starving. So, let's head to Một Vinh restaurant to have some dinner. Unfortunately, the Central, especially in Quy Nhơn, An Khê, and Pleiku, had to suffer from the tropical storm Kaomiki. It starts as a very strong storm far out in the sea, east of Vietnam, so our day 3 plan to Eo Gió had to be cancelled. And after the rain, the sun actually came out again. Da Nang welcomed us with a warm, sunny morning. After breakfast at the Royal Lotus Hotel, we headed to our first destination, the Marble Mountains. The site features 6 limestone hills located right by the coast, known as metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. One of the best parts of touring Marble Mountain is seeing the striking pagodas that climb this elevated perch. Le Nung Pagoda announces itself with an amazingly detailed archway facing the sweep of Non Nước Beach. Behind Le Nung Pagoda, Tàng Chơn Cave is one of the largest caves inside the Marble Mountains. Da Nang is a network of 5 grottos, each with its own temple or Buddha statue that are connected together. Since the 12th century, the Cham people have lived in this complex and use it to worship gods. From here, we continue our visit to Huyền Không Cave, one of the most impressive grottos in the Marble Mountains. When you stepped inside the cave, you immediately felt a refreshing, shimmering atmosphere created by sunlight reflecting off the limestone formations. The cave had a rounded dome shape with 5 openings that allowed natural light to stream in. That afternoon, we returned to the Royal Lotus Hotel to be dressed in our faculty uniform and take part in a learning and exchange session. During this learning session, students had the opportunity to ask questions about careers, job opportunities, hotel operations, and services to the department heads at the hotel. After the learning time at the hotel, we spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the charming streets of Hoi An ancient town. To get around the ancient town, we traveled into Hoi An by electric car. A UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1999, Hoi An's ancient town is a former trading port that reached its peak between the 15th and 19th century. Back then, Hoi An was a major hub for maritime trade between Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Japanese, Chinese, Dutch, and Portuguese merchants are left their mark both in the architecture and in the local culture. You can still see this mix of influences today: the Chinese shop houses, the Japanese covered bridge, recognized as a national cultural and historical site in 1990, is as symbolic of Hoi An as the lanterns and its old quarter. And if you haven't noticed yet, this Vietnamese national treasure is featured on the 20,000 Vietnamese Dong bill. This speaks volumes about the importance of this monument to the Vietnamese. Walking along Dong Phu Street in Hoi An, we easily came across one of the town's most prominent spots, the Assembly Hall of the Cantonese Chinese congregation. With sightseeing done, we enjoy nước mọc, a famous herbal drink from Hoi An, and I highly recommend you this to try. At night, we traveled around the Sơn Trà night market and admired the dragon bridge blowing the fire. On day 5, we made the final destination in Da Nang at the Museum of Cham Sculpture. It is established by the French archaeologists to preserve intricate works of art of Chamba Kingdom, which ruled the land from 2nd to 14th centuries. Now it has become the city's largest museum and a leading one in the country. At this museum, visitors can explore representations of 3 Hindu gods: Brahma, the creator, who brought the universe into existence; Vishnu, the preserver, who maintains and protects the world; and Shiva, the destroyer, whose role is not negative but rather a necessary force for destruction, enabling rebirth and transformation within the cosmic cycle. Most of the sculptures on display are authentic, made from sandstone, terracotta, and bronze, dating from the 7th to 15th centuries. They offer insights into the Cham people's cultural, spiritual, and religious practices, while the lotus motifs reveal the influence and exchange between Buddhism and Hinduism within the Chamba civilization. We started day 6 by visiting Nghinh Phong Tower. The name Nghinh Phong means to welcome the wind, reflecting open-minded and nature-harmonious spirit of the people of Phú Yên. There are 2 tall stone columns in the middle of the tower, including one with a height of 35 meters representing Lạc Long Quân and another 30 meters tall representing Âu Cơ. 50 stone blocks are stacked on top of each other at each bottom of the tower. The wall between the 2 stone columns is decorated with reliefs of the land, of yellow flowers and green grass in the low quality. Leaving Nghinh Phong behind, our next stop was the historic Ponagar Towers, another highlight of Cham heritage. Ponagar, a Cham relic site in Nha Trang, dating back to the 7th to 13th centuries, means the mother of the country in Cham. The Ponagar Temple complex features the central, southeast, and south towers aligned in a row, each containing small altars for offerings inside. Built mainly of red bricks stacked with thin layers of adhesive, a technique typical of Cham architecture, with stone and terracotta decorations. The Ponagar Towers are recognized as a special national relic, and their festival is part of Vietnam's national intangible cultural heritage. Passing through the gate tower, you reach the mandapa, where the Cham people prepared offerings for ceremonies. It has 2 rows of octagonal brick columns, 5 large and 6 small, aligned in each row. The middle floor connects to the top floor via steep brick steps. This is the last destination of our trip, the Institute Oceanography Nha Trang. We were coming to the marine life area, one of the most Institute's areas fascinating, displaying a giant humpback whale skeleton, sea cow, and Chinese sturgeon, and over 20,000 marine specimens. With its vast collection of rare and valuable marine specimens recognized by the Vietnam Record Book, the Institute of Oceanography has become the country's leading center for oceanography, research, and education. It is also one of Nha Trang's most famous tourist attractions, welcoming hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. And that is the end of my field trip too. Thank you for watching.